Have you ever felt that you call and text God, but you don't get any answers back? Have you ever felt that you wanted to discover your own God self inside of you? And you want to get close up and personal with your own divine God self through establishing a two-way direct communication with God? Do you ever wanted to make every decision right? Let it be small decision or big decision or even major life changing decision. And of course, when we make those decisions, we want them to be right. But how do you know? Because you can't predict the future. So how do you know that you're making the right decision? So do you want to always make those decisions right? If you answered yes to all of my questions, know that you are in the right place. This is very exciting because this is my favorite topic of all times. And I hope this will be your favorite topics because divine guidance signs are so fascinating and they're very, very useful and practical and very much needed. As I cannot live without regular physical GPS, and I believe that's the best invention ever in the history of humankind. But in the even larger degree, I cannot live without my divine guidance science. And I hope after taking this program, after going through the lessons and applying them in your life, you will have the same opinion. So in this program, you will learn about where the signs come from, what they are, how to notice and interpret them, how to apply them in real life, why you need to build your own vocabulary, and actually why I call it vocabulary, because I consider it a sign language, but not to mix with the sign language that you know about. It's actually divine guidance sign language, as I call it. And how to build your own vocabulary, where the signs lead you, that's an interesting question, and we will be talking about that. And by the way, I will give you a time-tested formula that I came up with through observations and practice and repeating it so many times, my own formula of how to ask a question, ask your divine God self the question, and the answer always comes. So you're going to have a treat here because this is an exciting subject and you're going to learn a lot. I will show you also the signs from my own collection, and I'm going to share a lot of personal stories. I'm going to be vulnerable here and share them because they will show you an example how I use them and what actually is possible with divine signs. And one word of encouragement or maybe a disclaimer, just remember, do not get despaired if after you learn the program, learn the science and start using them in your life, you might not immediately right away start noticing all the signs that are available to you. And the reason is, by the way, I have used these signs for the last 27 years. And I've been doing them 24/7, literally. I even use the dreams as signs as well. So I do this every day in any situation. No, if I don't get a sign or science that day, I don't like that day. I want my science at all times. So this is why I claim myself the queen of science, because I use them all the time. And so if you don't notice them at the beginning or not sure how to interpret them, please remember it takes time, it takes practice. As always in everything, practice makes perfect. So the longer you do it, the longer you apply them and practice them and using them and having fun with them, then you will be able to perhaps name yourself the Queen of Science as well. I will be happy to share my title with you. And now I want to talk about a little bit what gives me the authority to talk about the science, divine guidance science. In 1995, I have a major, amazing moment of spiritual awakening. And during that time, I gave my consent to step and start the spiritual journey within. It was and is inner journey into my freedom and power. And I never stopped. I never quit. I've been on the journey for the last 27 years. And since then, it's been fascinating, it's been challenging, it's been incredible. My whole life is committed to this journey. So I committed both professionally and personally to the same journey. So I take my clients, my students on the same journey as I am walking that journey myself, again, for the last 27 years. So all my education, training, my experience, my skills, everything is devoted to the spiritual journey within, to find your personal inner freedom and power as a woman, by the way. And I hold 3 master's degrees, including master's in counseling. In addition to 3 traditional universities that I graduated from, I am also trained at the University of Spiritual Studies, Delphi. I'm also trained in a Newton Institute as a Life Between Life hypnotherapist. Right now, I am a spiritual self-awareness mentor. I'm a speaker, and I'm a published author of several books, including a bestseller. In the past, I also have been a psychotherapist, master hypnotist, Life Between Lives hypnotherapist, and a college professor, and of course, a speaker. I've been always speaking everywhere I could. So, but the main exciting or my favorite subject and most exciting, I'm about that I am the Queen of Science, and I already explained why. So that's why this gives me the authority to teach the subject with full confidence, which I do. And now, oh, by the way, here is an interesting thing I want to share with you. This system, I did not make it up. I didn't read about it anywhere. I didn't get it from anyone, but I simply observed it. I became aware because right after I had my spiritual awakening, very shortly after, my first lesson followed. And my first lesson was to master the system of communication with the divine, because obviously, because I gave my consent, I spoke to spiritual beings from above, and I gave my concern for the journey. So I needed the communication system that I would be guided every step of the way on this journey. And so it did happen. And because of that, I had to master or learn first and then master this system of communication. And with time, I have designed it because, well, basically, I observed everything. Then I saw the repetitions, I saw the patterns, I saw the occurrences. I would remember those occurrences, and then I would make a conclusion. And that's how gradually, step by step, day by day, month by month, and year after year, I was able to put it into a system that is very comprehensive in my eyes. It works so well. It's simple, elegant, yet very profound, because I don't claim credit for it. I believe that divine God self of mine has been teaching me that in ascended masters and angels. So the credit goes to above, to the divine, not me. But this system is time-tested, proven many times in my life, and in the life of my clients. And I've been teaching this system for all these years. As I've been progressing, my clients have been progressing in the system. And believe me, it's a lot to learn and it's a lot to practice. So it's an amazing journey with divine guidance signs, as I call them.